Josh, great to see you, man. Let's just start out by how has the summer been?
It's been a great off season. You know, our kids worked extremely hard this winter and this spring. We've had a really good summer, so we're hoping to end the summer the right way here these last 2 weeks and get ready to go for fall camp.
I know that only so much can be taken from passing league, but I know this, you have been in competition at several events with really good teams, with a really good field, and you guys have been tremendous. Give us a little synopsis of some of the achievements that you guys have had this summer.
Yeah, you know, 7-on-7, it is what it is. You know, we use it to work on what we do in the regular season. We're not one of those teams who goes out and does things that they're not going to do come football season time. So we go out and we work on what we do, and we've had a lot of success. And I think anytime you can have success for your kids, I think it's a great thing. So we've taken our kids to local tournaments, which has been good because you see some people that you'll see throughout the year. But we like to get our kids outside of the Columbia area. So we went to Athens for a tournament down at UGA. Went to Dorman for their tournament. We'll go to Burns this weekend for their 2-day tournament. So you see a lot of teams from North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and some competition that your kids usually won't see during the year. So I think that's good for our kids too.
I know that you won the tournament up in Dorman, and how does that, you know, I mean, I know it makes you feel good. I want to ask you, how does it make you feel? But you know, what do you walk away from that? Are these kids maybe more talented or whatever it takes, maybe even more than you thought coming in? Have you learned that about them, that maybe this group's upside, maybe a little better than you would have known, say, at the end of last season?
Yeah, I mean, I think they see that their hard work's paying off. You know, they've gotten better every time we've taken the field. And, you know, we have an expectation of being successful at Lexington High School. That's, you know, every time we take the field, we expect to be successful. Our kids know that. So, like I said, I think anytime they can achieve success and win games, whether it's 7-on-7 or a lineman challenge or anything that you can do in the summer to create that competition and have your kids be successful, I think it'll pay off.
Other than the fact that it obviously makes you feel good and very proud, you made it to the state championship last year. That's every school's goal every year. Now that it's happened, what kind of intangible benefits comes out of that from a player's perspective?
You know, I think the biggest thing is for our younger kids that we're able to see, you know, from B team all the way up through our junior class that's going to be seniors this year. Everybody that was involved in our program, from the middle school level up, they saw, you know, what we accomplished last year, the excitement that comes with that, and I think everybody kind of got a taste of it. And I don't think they want that taste to get out of their mouths. I think everybody wants a little bit more of it. So that's been the driving force for us this year, and kind of our slogan for the year is finish. You know, year 3 last year, you know, we made it to the second round of the playoffs our first 2 years here. We wanted to take the next step, and we were able to do that last year with going to the Upper State Championship, beating a very good Spartanburg team, and then making it to the state championship. You know, the outcome wasn't what we wanted, but it was a tremendous year, and we're looking to build off of that this year like we do every year. We want to get to the next step, we want to get there, and we want to win it. So finish has been our slogan all off season, and that's kind of what we've preached in our workouts, and our kids have done a really good job.
Now we're going to the 5A system finally, after talking about it for so long, and I think that we all agree that's a great thing. But boy, this isn't hyperbole to say that this region that you are in is just, on paper at least, it is ridiculous. Yeah. Talk a little bit about the challenge of competing in this region.
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, it's week in and week out, and it's very good competition. And I think as a competitor, I think you want it that way. You want to play the best of the best week in and week out. And I tell you, in our region, it's going to prepare all of us for the playoffs. You know, if you can come out of this region and get into the playoffs, you're going to have a shot. Just because the competition is so good. It's very good football teams, very well coached football teams. So I think it's exciting. You know, it's all local teams. So from an athletic director standpoint, your gate revenue ought to be pretty good every Friday. But, you know, from a competitor standpoint, you want to play the best. And I think we've got some really good football teams in our region, and that'll prepare everybody for the playoffs. So I think it's going to be exciting.
Let me ask you about, we know that you lost a incredibly talented senior class, but I want to talk about them, but in a different way, from your 2 quarterbacks, Blake and Donnie, from Trey Mitchell, who is not only one of your best players, but one of your smartest players that's ever been through this school as far as football-wise, leadership-wise, Slade Carroll, and we can go on and on, Jason Hopper. you knew that you would be losing them, and that's part of the game in high school, but their leadership was also unbelievable. How have others stepped up in their place to lead a team? Because as we all know, especially you guys that are coaches, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
The kids have to be leaders as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a great example for this class is going to be seniors, and even our sophomores and juniors. You know, we tell them all the time, leaders lead. Whether they're sophomores, juniors, or seniors, we expect our kids to be leaders on and off the field. And what a great example our younger kids had in that class. Some tremendous talent, but even better kids. You know, that team led itself last year, and that's really how it's been since we've gotten here. You know, our kids know what the expectation is, and we use that term all the time, leaders lead. And our younger kids had a great example in that senior class on how to do things on and off the field, how to carry yourselves, how to do things the right way. And like I said, it was a great example for our younger kids. So I think we'll just continue to follow the way we've been going.
Or is there maybe 1, 2, or 3 kids you can mention that have stepped up, regardless of how good of players they are or are not, but have really, really embraced leadership roles?
Yeah. I mean, Eric Ricker. I mean, he's been will be a 3-year starter for us at safety, and is Mr. Utility. He does everything for us. Never comes off the field, and he was a captain last year, so he got to be around that group in kind of a leadership role. And you know, Hunter Blackman will be a 2-year captain for us, starts for us up front on the offensive line, anchors that offensive line, and those 2 guys, along with this senior class. I mean, you got a bunch of good seniors and some really talented juniors that are going to be good players. So, you know, from a leadership standpoint, we feel good about what we've got. It'll be good to get these younger kids into some Friday night situations to see how they respond. But, you know, the expectation doesn't change for us just because we graduated a really good group of seniors. We expect to be successful, and you know, we've trained that way this off season, and we're ready to get summer camp started and see how it goes.
Before I let you go, being an athletic director here as well as a head coach, obviously I'm hear and tell that there's some new dude as like a district AD, not kind of shaky on that guy. Can you pass along any information? Who?
Yeah, David Bennett. I love Coach Bennett. I love him.
Talked to David about an hour ago, and he planted that question, just so you know. So in all seriousness, the biggest thing talking to David today was, wow, it's hard to believe that at least for now, this is going to be his last year on the sideline. I mean, talk about a guy that's great for kids. I mean, no matter what, that's kind of indisputable.
He's a trip. He's a trip. You know, he recruited me out of high school to Coastal when I was coming out. So I've known Coach Bennett for a long time, and he's a great guy. He does a great job, and I think he'll do a great job in his new role.
No doubt, because you're going to get that new indoor field house, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Right, David?
There you go.
Josh, as always, man, awesome to catch up with you, and best of luck at the Burns 7-on-7 coming up tomorrow and Saturday, and practice starting on July 29th. So we'll be out to see you every week, man, as usual.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy.